I'm going to tell you something in this video that you probably don't know. Most of my clients think that things like accent, pronunciation issues, grammar mistakes, or just speaking broken English are the things that we notice the most as native speakers. You might be surprised to know that this isn't the case. With over 5 million non-natives living in the UK, these are actually the kind of things we hear all the time. And we understand and we accept that you're speaking your second language. So those are not things that we really notice. The biggest thing that we do notice, or at least I notice, is when people use longer, more complicated verbs that they have translated from their own language instead of using an English phrasal verb. Phrasal verbs are used all the time in English, and a native speaker will know thousands of them. And most of the time, they are used instead of a more complicated verb. I'm going to share a few examples of what I'm talking about. So first, I invented a story. You might think this is normal, this is great, this is smart English, because invented is a complicated, complex, advanced word. But in this context, it doesn't really make sense. A phrasal verb needs to be used here, and the phrasal verb is made up. I made up a story. This is what a native speaker would say. This is how a British person would express themselves. So even if you think you sound great by using these complicated, complex words, in fact, using a phrasal verb would be better. How about another example? You resemble your father. Again, not what a native speaker would say. We would use a phrasal verb and say, look like. You look like your father. And if you think there isn't a difference, I cannot tell you how much of a difference there is between using resemble and look like. If you say you resemble your father, it's a little bit strange. Use the phrasal verb, use look like. And one final example I've come across during my 10-week program. I'm attending a party later. I'm attending a meeting later. Again, you might think there's nothing wrong with it, but use a phrasal verb. Use going to. I'm going to a meeting later. I'm going to a party later. Simple, clear, effective English is so much better. This is the thing that we notice the most. So start using phrasal verbs. Stop translating things from your own language. Learn the phrasal verbs and add them to your vocabulary. And if you do this, you will impress native speakers far more. You will progress in your careers. You will perform better at work. And this is why phrasal verbs are a crucial part of my 10-week English communication program. So if you want to hear more about how that works, leave a comment here or send me a DM. I would love to talk to you further.